Hello everybody, Miss Debbie here. It is nice to see you again. I hope you are staying cool. It's been very hot again. Ay, 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 I should make a fan. Use a book for a fan. I hope you're staying cool. Sit in the shade if you're outside. Drink lots of water or fruit juice or have some ice pops to keep you cool. And get ready for bed because it's PJ story time, right? I hope you have nice, cool sheets, nice, clean, cool sheets in a darkened room. And that'll put you right to sleep. So, I'm going to start with our hello song, and it's very cheerful, and you know how it goes. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you today? I hope you're fine. I hope you had a great day. And when you go to sleep tonight, the best way I have to fall asleep is to just lay on my pillow and think about all the fun things I did. And then I think about the fun things I'm going to do the next day, starting in the morning. That puts me right to sleep and makes me really happy. And it makes me have good dreams, too. So, hello. I hope you stop by the library. We are not open to come in the doors quite yet, but you could order books on the catalog, which is online, or you could call up the librarian and say, surprise me? Can you surprise me with a stack of books? I want 5 books that Miss Sam picks out. And go for it. It could be fun. You could go to the web page, and on the banner there's a block that says go to new books, and then you will see all of the new books listed. And if you just click on hold with your library card, those books will be picked for you, and then they'll come and the staff will put them in the lobby. And then what you should do is you come to the library. Don't forget to put your mask on, and you're going to come up to the door, open the library door. You're going to see a few people that you know behind the desk, and they'll wave. And then you're going to look for your stack of books on the table there. And then you go. They'll already be checked out to you. So I hope you do that. Don't be shy. That's what library books are for. They're meant to circulate, which means they come to the library, they go to your house. They go to your house, they come back to the library. Circulation. All right. So, but yeah, go for the surprise stack. Why not? Summer is always full of surprises. This summer was full of surprises, wasn't it? All those masks that we're wearing and limited things to do. Well, I hope you find things to do, even in your own backyard, like playing under the sprinkler, if you have a slip and slide or a little pool, a picnic in your backyard. Why not? It's beautiful. Maybe you could sleep in a tent, depending where you are. I have a tent. It's a little too hot to sleep in my tent, but it's okay. I'll do it when it cools down. So, I think you'll be happy. You will definitely be happy if you go and get some books from the library, right? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Stomp, stomp. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, Hooray! If you're happy and you know, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray! Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Hooray! If you're happy and you know, then you really ought to show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp. Hooray! And I think you could even do it if you're sitting in bed. Do all three at the very exact same time. So if your legs are in bed, you can stomp your heels on the bed. All right. So we're going to clap your hands. Keep clapping. Stomp your heels or stomp your feet. Easy enough. You don't have to go so furiously fast. And then shout hooray! Good little exercise. Get your blood pumping. Blood is good when it's pumping. All right, so some of my friends are still in camp, and lucky they are that even though they have to wear their little mask, but they get a chance to play with new friends and new teachers and new games. And even though it's very, very hot, they're out of the house for a little while and having new things. So sometimes my mommy takes me over to summer camp to play. Sometimes she's gone a little while, and sometimes she's gone all day. But my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back to get me. My mommy comes back, she always comes back, she never would forget me. And that's very true. Mommies don't forget. Sometimes they get busy, and that's the truth, but they don't forget. So today's first story, I couldn't wait to read this, is called Sophie's Squash. So look at Sophie, and there's her little squash. This book is written by Pat Miller. And actually, you know what a squash looks like. It's a butternut squash. This is the same squash that's in the book. This is Miss Debbie's squash. So I'll probably eat it for dinner. Okay. Sophie's squash. Sophie is a nice, cute little girl. Sophie. Look at her loving her squash. One bright fall day, Sophie chose a squash at the farmer's market. I'm trying to keep the reflection off those pictures. Her parents planned to serve it for supper, but Sophie had other ideas. It was just the right size to hold in her arms. Just the right size to bounce on her knee. Just the right size to love. I'm glad we met, Sophie whispered. Good friends are hard to find. At home, Sophie used markers to give her squash a face. Then she wrapped it in a blanket and rocked it to sleep. Well, it's about the size of a little doll. So little, like my squash has a little curl. And if I put a face on it, I could rock it to sleep. I'm not going to, because I'm eating mine for supper. When it was time to make supper, Sophie's mother looked at the squash, and she looked at Sophie. I call her Bernice, Sophie said. I'll call for a pizza, said her mother. After that, Bernice went everywhere with Sophie. To story time at the library, to visit other squash at the farmer's market, to practice somersaults by the garden. Every night, Sophie gave Bernice a bottle, a hug, and a kiss. Well, we did hope she'd love vegetables, Sophie's mother told her father. Shh, Sophie said. Bernice is sleeping. Sweet pea, Sophie's mother said one morning as they made blueberry waffles. Bernice is a squash, not a friend. If we don't eat her soon, she'll get mushy and gross. Let's bake her with marshmallows. Won't that taste yummy? Don't listen, Bernice, Sophie cried. Don't listen to what Mommy's saying. That afternoon, Sophie's father took her shopping. Sugar beet, he said, Bernice is a squash. Why don't you pick a nice toy to play with instead? But the trucks were too hard, and the dolls were too soft. Sophie clutched Bernice tightly. No thanks, she said. I have everything I need. After supper, Sophie's parents called a family meeting. Bernice napped in Sophie's lap. Why don't we donate Bernice to the food pantry before she rots, her father suggested. Sophie shook her head. Bernice will last forever, she said. Bernice seems a little blotchy, said Sophie's dad on the way to the library one day. Bernice, she looks perfect to me, Sophie replied. At Storytime, some kids pointed and stared. What's that spotty thing? A boy asked. Her name is Bernice and she's a squash, Sophie said, with freckles. Maybe Bernice should stay home next time, Sophie's mom suggested. Why? Sophie asked. She wasn't the one being rude. Still, as winter neared, Sophie noticed changes. Bernice seemed softer and her somersaults lacked their usual style. Visiting friends will cheer you up, Sophie said. At the farmer's market, squash were everywhere. Firm, shiny squash. What keeps a squash healthy? Sophie asked a farmer. It's simple, really, he said. Fresh air, good clean dirt, a little love. Well, Sophie thought, I have all of that. At home, Sophie cleared leaves from Bernice's favorite spot. She made a bed of soft soil, tucked Bernice in, and kissed her good night. Get better soon, she whispered. That night, while Sophie slept, the wind whistled and tiny snowflakes fell. Look at her eyes. When she awoke, the world was covered in white. Do you think Bernice is cold out there? Sophie asked her mother. Oh, I'm sure she's warm and cozy under her snow blanket, her mother replied. Sophie gazed out the window all morning. She was still there in the afternoon when her father came home with a surprise. You need a new friend, he said. Meet Ace. Ace was nice, but boring. He just swam around and around in his bowl. But during the long winter, Sophie discovered that Ace was a superb, silent reader who did fabulous flip turns. And he always listened politely when she talked about Bernice. Bernice was great at keeping secrets. When the snow finally melted, Sophie rushed into the garden. The only thing there was a small green sprout, but it looked strangely familiar. Here she is. Bernice, Sophie said. How was your winter? Look at that little sprout. After that, Ace, Sophie, and Bernice ate lunch together every day. But you can see Bernice is growing leaves. One bright summer morning, Sophie somersaulted across her yard, landed by the garden, and stared in disbelief. Bernice had grown 2 tiny squash. Wow, Sophie told them, you look just like your mom. Can you see they're 2 little squash? Soon, Bonnie and Baxter were just the right size for Sophie to hold in her arms and bounce on her knee. Just the right size to love. Isn't that fun? I love this. Squash are fun. Aw, look at that. You could go to the farmer's market and get a squash and use magic marker and put 2 eyes on it, and you could love it. And it would be your summer friend. And then before it gets all splotchy, that's when you have it for dinner. It'd be okay. So here's another fun book. And if you wonder, I keep looking at my notes. It's remember my set list, and that's how I write down what order the books are and the songs are that I'd like to share with you tonight. So, Ready for Anything by Kiko Kaza. I love her books, and I'm going to have to look for a few more of my favorites. You know, I wanted to tell you, the trouble with children's books is when they're manufactured, that's it. They make 100,000 books, and that's it. They sell them to kids and libraries and schools and this and that. And then that's the end of that. So as the books get older and time goes by, they never make that book again. So when the book gets ripped or damaged or just too old, that's it. Those stories go away. So I was on the library website today looking for some of my favorite books that I used to read to my son and to my students. And they're not in the libraries anymore because they've gotten too old and fallen apart and dirty. And it made me sad because these are my favorite stories. I have to find new favorite stories. So this one is called Ready for Anything by Kiko Kaza. Duck arrived at Raccoon's house on a bright, sunny day. Hey, Raccoon, said Duck, are you ready for our picnic? Well, I changed my mind, said Raccoon. I don't want to go. Why not? Asked Duck. Well, I've been thinking, said Raccoon. What if we are attacked by killer bees? No, said Duck. Yeah, said Raccoon. And what if they chase us, and we fall into a river? Oh, no, said Duck. Oh, yeah, said Raccoon. And what if we swim for our lives, but a terrible storm hits with lightning and thunder? Oh, no, yelled Duck. oh yeah, Raccoon went on. And what if we look for shelter in a cave, but there's already someone in there, someone really scary? Like, like who? Asked Duck. Like a dragon, shouted Raccoon. Now, if you're in a cave, it's going to be an earth dragon. I think that's a pretty nifty looking dragon. They both screamed. Run away from this dragon, please. And they hid under a blanket. It could happen, you know, Raccoon warned. Picnics are dangerous. You're right, Duck thought about it for a while. But Raccoon, what if some lovely butterflies pass by instead of bees? That would be nice, said Raccoon. Yes, said Duck, and what if we follow the butterflies to the river and dunk in for a cool splash? Well, that would be even nicer, Raccoon answered. Yes, much nicer, Duck said. And what if the weather is beautiful with just a gentle breeze blowing? We could fly a kite. Gee, that sounds like fun, Raccoon admitted. Lots of fun, Duck said, and then we might find a cave to explore. Don't go in, Raccoon shouted. There's a fire-breathing dragon in there, remember? Maybe, said Duck, but what if it's just a cute little dragon who wants to play with us? You think, said Raccoon. Sure, said Duck, and what if we have the best picnic ever, roasting marshmallows with that little dragon's fire breath? Wow, said Raccoon, your what-ifs are wonderful, Duck. What are we waiting for? Raccoon cried. Let's go on a picnic. That's the spirit, Raccoon, Duck cheered. Just give me a few minutes to get ready, said Raccoon. Whoopee! So Duck waited and waited and waited some more. He's falling asleep a little bit. Until finally Raccoon announced, "Okay, Duck, I'm ready to go." Oh, Raccoon! Duck fell over laughing. You worry too much. But I guess you are ready for anything, huh? So he's ready for rain. There's his umbrella. He's got his beekeeper hat on and a tube for saving if something happens in the river, a first aid kit, 2 flashlights, and rope. At last, the 2 friends left for their picnic. Thanks, Duck, said Raccoon. This is much more fun than hiding under a blanket. No problem, said Duck. Trust me, nothing could go wrong on a little picnic. And the butterflies are following them. Do you think anything could go wrong? They're pretty well prepared. But when they got there, Duck gasped. Oh no, Duck moaned. I forgot the picnic basket. Duck wanted to cry, but Raccoon stayed calm. No problem, Raccoon declared, opening his backpack. Like you said, I'm ready for anything. And he'd had a picnic in his backpack, just in case. So what do you spy in the picnic? I see watermelon, orange juice, trail mix, bananas, marshmallows, 2 muffins or chocolate cupcakes, and 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. What fun is that? You could do a picnic in your backyard. Just make a couple of sandwiches, peanut butter preferred, and put a blanket on the ground or just sit on the grass and enjoy the picnic. It's just something very special. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just do it in your yard. I hope you do. Okay, so, we have our favorite love song that we sing. It's called Skidamarink. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo. I love you. Cha-cha-cha. Remember. And then, we have the song "Oh Little Playmate," but I'm going to change the words just for fun. Oh, little playmate, come out and play with me, and bring your picnic basket, and we'll go on a picnic. Maybe you can play in my little swimming pool, or slide down my slip and slide, and we'll be jolly pals forevermore. Songs don't always have to rhyme. And it's fun. I'll bet you know how to make up your own songs. So I hope you have a playmate today. If you're like Sophie, she didn't have a playmate or brothers and sisters, so she played with her little squash. So, but she did go to Storytime at the library, so that was a good thing. All right, so now here's a fun book by Barbara McClintock called Vroom. Isn't that the sound that a race car makes? Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom. One evening, Annie put on her helmet and her gloves, hopped into her car, and took off. Right out the window. Daddy's downstairs doing the dishes. Remember, stories are imaginary. Anything can happen in a story. It was a fine evening for a drive. The road was straight and flat. Do you see her down there? She's down here. The road was straight and flat until she reached the mountains, where it was cold on top. So the road zigzagged up the mountains, and it was very cold at the top. But the desert, when she came down, was hot and dry. There's the mountain in the background. The desert's very beautiful, but it is very hot. Annie drove through a cool, damp forest. You see something in the look in the distance at the end of the path. She drove over a wide river. That's what it was. It was a bridge. She drove over a wide river and into a city. There were lots and lots of people in the city. And lots of traffic. Oy, oy, oy. Annie drove fast to get out of the traffic. Look at that. She's kicking up dust and stuff. And then she drove faster, just as if she was on a racetrack. After driving so fast, she was getting a little tired. But soon she came to a familiar road that led to a familiar house. I love these pictures. She drove up a familiar set of stairs, past her familiar daddy, and through a familiar room. Annie applied her brakes. Tomorrow would be another fine day for a drive. The end. Sweet, sweet books. Oh, we have to sing our favorite song. Did you have spaghetti for dinner? This song makes me want to have spaghetti for dinner. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. My poor little meatball rolled out of the door. It rolled in the garden and under a bush. And now my poor meatball is nothing but mush. But the mush was as tasty could be. And early next summer, it grew into a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss, and it grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. So if you eat spaghetti all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatball and don't ever sneeze. Achoo! Sneeze into your elbow. Now, we were talking about picnics, and this time of year, it's not only butterflies. Butterflies don't really come after picnics, but wasps do, and those flies do. Those like buzzing flies, big black fly. So actually last night there was a fly and he followed me from my kitchen to my bedroom, and I was reading in bed and the light was on and that fly, and I'm like, man, get out of here. I don't know where it went, but it kind of settled down when I turned the light off. But that's the kind of thing where if you see a fly like that, just keep your mouth shut and breathe through your nose, or put your mask back on and breathe that way, because I don't know. These flies are weird and they do weird things. So so we have a fun song called Shoo Fly. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. For I belong to somebody. I feel like a morning star. I feel like a morning star. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. For I belong to somebody. I feel like an evening star. I feel like an evening star. And that's just a fun little song. It's a folk song, so it can be silly, right? Shoo fly, don't bother me. I'll try to find some more fly songs. And hopefully next time we'll have a fly book. Old Black Fly. Okay, so a quick book by Mary Murphy to settle us into sleep. I like it when. Do you know what kind of animals these are? Yes, they're penguins. You could see the penguins, I think, if you go down to Point Pleasant. Go on the boardwalk and you'll find Jenkinson's Aquarium. and they have penguins, and I believe they're open. I'd love to go there. Maybe I should go there tomorrow because it's going to rain, and what better thing to do at the shore when it's raining but go into the aquarium. So here's a little story about a baby penguin. I like it when you hold my hand. I like it when you let me help. Thank you. I like it when we eat new things. Surprise! Squash! Hey, squash is very good with some butter on top. You'd be surprised. I like it when we play peekaboo. Boo! I like it when you tickle me. Let's play the tickle game. I like it when you dance with me. Shake it out. I like it when you read me stories. I like it when you hug me tight. I like it when we splash about. Actually, I'm the one doing the splashing. I like it when we kiss goodnight. Sleep tight. Good night. I love you. I love you too. You're wonderful. Remember, I love you. Right? Baby sign language. I wonder if penguins can do sign language. Not these penguins. They just have wings like this. I love you. I like it when. Oh, Blanche hates the night. It's dark at night, right? That's why this book has a dark cover. Okay, let's try to not make it shine. It shouldn't be so shiny, but my window is making everything shine. Let's do this way. Is that better? A little bit. Blanche hates the night. So, at night, you have to turn on lights. There's the little light. Well, you don't have to. You can just go to bed. Good night, Blanche. Good night, Mommy. Every day ends the same. Night always falls. Blanche does not like the night. Actually, Blanche hates the night. So Blanche puts on a concert to chase away the moon and wake up the sun. Boom, boom, boom on the drum and la, 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 la. Her concert. Oh, can you see Mommy's shadow standing in the doorway? Stop that racket. It's bedtime. It's not the sun, Blanche wakes up. It's Mommy. The night is such a pain, so Blanche sings. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Want to go to sleep. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, don't want to go to sleep. Everything is gray at night and you're not supposed to play. Go to bed, my little songbird. Let's see, whose shadow is that? Looks like Mommy's shadow again. You see it on the floor? Oh. Time to sleep for baby birdie, but not for owly me. Sleep, sleep, birdie, sleep all night long. Your watch I'll keep. That's a little song that she just made up. The moon is only good for hanging up your pajamas. Look where she put her pajama top. She hung it on the moon. Blanche wants to horse around. She's doing tumble salts over her bedstead. She's wide awake. Blanche, back to bed and hop to it. I think this time it's Daddy's shadow. Blanche tumbles back to bed. Oh yes, I can hop to it. Boing, boing, boing. Hee hee, my bed is my trampoline. And it's my sleigh carrying me away up so high where the sun never hides. I'm in my sleigh. Up so high to the land of midnight. And soon Blanche was asleep. Good night, Blanche. Sometimes it's hard to go to sleep, right? So, when we get ready for bed, this is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face before we go to bed. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth before we go to bed. This is the way we comb our hair, comb our hair, comb our hair. This is the way we comb our hair before we go to bed. Go hippity hop to bed. I'd rather stay up instead, like Blanche. When Mother says must, there's nothing but just. Go hippity hop to bed. Oh well. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I love you. And always remember, you always keep your sunshine within you, right? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. But our little lights need sleep so that they can shine brightly all day long tomorrow. So I wish you sweet dreams. I wish you a good night's sleep. I wish you love. Good night, and I'll see you next time.